Everyone, we're back, and now I am setting up again on my own. We made a lovely little piggy bank. After filming the last segment with Brendan, it was really good, but I decided that I wanted to make some more so that I can bring more to the kiln, kind of get more bang for my buck kind of thing when I fire stuff. I still have all my materials that I used in the last video. I have a cup of water. So for the extra things I'm going to be making a box, a jar, and a bowl. I have a cloth sheet down, and that's actually going to be better for you to work with ceramics as opposed to the plastic that we had. The plastic, you saw that it worked pretty well, and you can just roll it up and toss it away, but this one I think works the best because it doesn't stick. A surface like a wooden laminated surface like my table here, it's going to stick, and when you pull off the clay, the clay is going to come off in pieces. So I can slab roll each section like separately and then attach them, or like an origami cutout, which basically I have like a huge slab, and then I basically cut in a way where I can fold each of the sides upward. I think that's all I need. So I'm just gonna flatten out the piece. Yesterday when we filmed, I had like a whole production team, but today I'm on my own. When I first started out, I get irritated that I didn't utilize enough of the clay that I had. So if that's you, please don't get frustrated. Just use up the clay, and then you can like put it in a ball, all your excess clay, and then wedge it and reuse it. You don't want your box to be uneven in width. When doing ceramics, you just want to make sure your width is all even throughout your piece. I basically need 4 sides. I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to do it in the origami cutout. You'll need a lot of clay for that in order to cut everything out. Most of the time I just eyeball things, even though I have the ruler. We're just going to go ahead and cut. Slab rolling is pretty quick. The only thing you need to keep in mind is just the drying time. Now I have 2 pieces. When we cut on our pattern, we actually made a kind of a guide for us. If these are going to be my sides, they're going to be upright, so I need to make these sides. So now I know the length of this. So I'm going to use this again as a little guide. Using all the scraps, we're going to squish all the little pieces together. See, there are like so many gaps, we want to close that tight. Now I have another piece. Roll out the base. I use this palm right here, line it up with my template that's already on there. Because I can't see it when I lay it flat, I'm just going to lay it right alongside. Need fancy tools. That's it. See, look, it's very flexible. You see how like wobbly they are? Again, I'm just going to leave them out to dry until they can have a little bit more structure, and then we'll just put the box together, and it'll be really simple, quick. I want to make a berry bowl. Pinch pot, we just shove our finger in there, and then we start pinching around. I've been wanting one of these for a while. I just haven't made it, and I wanted it square. So I mostly do the wheel, can do square things. You just gotta like make a circle, and then you can like flatten the sides out. Popped a hole in my, I'll start over. This is a good way to work out like your wrists and finger strength. Definitely make a box, a slab rolled box, but I wanted to have that more organic shape. I didn't want it so structural. That's why I decided to do a pinch pot. Just smack it. I'm just pinching it at the bottom as I smooth it out. There's my berry bowl. There's the structure of my berry bowl. Alright, so I'm going to set that off to the side for it to dry just a little bit more too. And then I'm going to do my jars. Slab roll over a little disc. We'll make the straight line. going to use this as a template. The height to be here, that little marking, or the line to cut across. And there we have it. There. And this needs to be dried up just a little bit more too, so I'm just going to leave that off to the side here. I'm going to go back to our berry bowl. It's not quite dry yet, but I'm going to just smooth out some of the edges just a bit. Okay. It's looking more berry-y. I want another one, so I want 2 on each side. A little bit of the holes on the bottom. And then I'm just going to cut it out. So I'm just going to carve it out. Now that we've finished, I'm just going to put it off on the side here and just let it dry. I still wanted to keep it relatively kind of organic looking, like almost like the actual like cardboard container that the berries sometimes come in. So I'm gonna start with the jar itself. See, this one has way more structure. It has that stability to stay upright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hashes so I can add. And a good tip is if you're going to keep doing this, then you know how I made yesterday? I made the slip in the bowl, but you can make it in a jar, so that way anytime you're doing this, you can just open the jar and then your slip will be ready to go to add. So you don't have to like drop it down. You don't have to waste all that slip that you already made. You can just pre-make it and have it ready to go. I just basically wrapped around the slab part and attached it with our slip, and that's about it. Okay, so just assembling the box. Now I'm going to get this side, okay, and so on and so forth. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then meet me on the other side is our box. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it off to the side and let it dry, so that way it could be bone dry for the kiln.
Time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da 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 This is all the clay you have left after everything. Yay! Now for the cleanup part. Just take the sponge and wet off all the clay that's left on your tools, so that way your tools are nice and clean. Take all the scraps, scrunch it together and make a little ball. Use the ball to roll up the scraps. Now use the cloth table and roll it up. Now you're done and you're left with the cup of water. But listen up, this is important. This cup of water cannot be put down your drain. Do you hear me? You do not want a plumber to come and fix your piping. So what you can do is you can give the water to your plants or just dump it in your backyard. There'll be a fine layer of clay dust, but it is okay for your plants. Another thing you can do is wait until the clay particles drop down to the bottom of the cup. on the top, you'll be left with clean and clear and under control water, which you can now dump down your drain and be left with the clay on the bottom, which can either be dumped away or recycled. The beauty of play. Thank you for watching.